Across Kampala and other major towns in the country, motorists are feeling the pinch. A litre of petrol is now selling between 5,100 shillings and 5,300 shillings at some stations, while diesel is going for around 4,700 shillings to 5,000 shillings a litre. That's an increase of over 200 to 300 shillings in just the past few weeks. This price change could be minimal, but the impact is significant. The information in the public domain is that the hike in fuel prices could be because of the conflicts in the Middle East. But the government says that is not the case.
The variation of pump prices at the moment have to do more with the dollar rate and nothing to do with the supply. As we indicated when the US, Israel, Iran war started, at least we guaranteed supply for the next 2 to 3 months, because at least for March, we already had the supply coming in, and we'd expect that the OMCs, the oil marketing companies, sell at the rate we sell to them.
The US dollar is currently trading at approximately 3,770 Ugandan shillings. The government does not directly determine or set retail fuel prices at the pump. Fuel prices are deregulated, meaning they are determined by market forces of demand and supply, including international oil prices and transportation costs. The government, through the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, acts as a regulator but does not fix retail prices, making Uganda's fuel market a liberalized one. But the government could act if pump prices continue rising.
We don't expect the OMCs to go beyond a certain reasonable cost. So of course, if we feel that they're being unreasonable, government definitely has to intervene, because we've got a department that oversees these OMCs, licenses them, regulates them, monitors those petrol stations. And actually, initially, when the war had just started, we got such complaints and they went for inspections to really ensure that doesn't happen. But as of yesterday, actually since Saturday, we've been getting calls about these OMCs raising the prices again. But like you said, sometimes by a shilling or two, and things almost subtle that it might not be so obvious, but our monitoring process picks this out. And if it's found to be unfair, we intervene.
Oil marketing companies say they are simply following market forces driven by the strong dollar.
We're not producing up something or coming up with our own prices. No, we do prices according to the market trend. At the end of the day, we are mindful of our customers before we can change anything at the price board, price pump. We are mindful of our customers, and for us, what matters most is the quality that we give to our customers, because we are mindful about their mileage and value of their money.
But even as pump prices edge up, Ugandans face another potential blow from the proposed national budget. The government is planning to increase excise duty on fuel by 200 shillings per litre for both petrol and diesel, with effect from the 2026-2027 financial year, and that will likely lead to higher pump prices. The proposal is subject to parliamentary approval.
We fear that even when we anticipated the fuel prices to go down, they are actually hiking further. So I think that's one of those proposals that government should put on the shelf for a while again, especially at the point when you want to, boost production and boost trade and things like that, and have more mobility in your government. I think it can be waited. Maybe we study it, and maybe until next year, 2027-28, we see how to deal with it.
For now, though, the government is confident the fuel supply in the country will remain stable in the coming days unless the worst happens.
Even by the time the war started, we had already shipments in both Mombasa and in Tanga. So there on supply, we are comfortable. The small variations we see at the pump have to do more with the dollar rate as opposed to the actual war. But eventually, it really depends on how long the war takes. That one we cannot guarantee. So if the war stretches more than 2-3 months, obviously Uganda will be affected. We're already affected, but at least we have a supply at the moment. We have reservoirs and we have alternative routes.
We have not been affected much with our sales, okay? And I do not foresee anything, because the flow of demand that we have the demand that we have for our services from the public has gone quite high. And regardless of this, we're still having that traffic flow that we had before, coming in and going out, please.
Taxi and bodaboda operators fear that if fuel prices keep rising and the new tax is added, they could start registering losses and be forced to increase fares, and that will affect every passenger. At the end of the day, official explanations aside, Ugandans simply know the truth at the pump. Fuel is getting more expensive, and every extra shilling spent is quietly reshaping their daily lives. Daniel, KIBET, NTV.